Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm early today, Jacqui. You guys are half getting Jacqui in the raw again. And the only thing I mean by that is that my door is open. So dogs are going to be in and out. So maybe we'll get a surprise appearance from another one. Yeah, April, wait, what? 2 doggies? Yeah, there's 3 in the house, but Darla is the best behaved, so she's been getting the privilege of being down here with Mom for astrology time. And Wednesday, I just had a whole day, and I pretty much just said, like, F it. If the dogs are gonna bark, if the dogs are gonna jump on my face, that's Jacqui, so. Hi, Jacqui. Lucy says hello to the doggies. So Darla is the black one, and then Gemma with a G. Gemma is the other one. They both came named. We adopted both of them, and we just kept their names. So I have no ties to either of those names, just that I love them. Happy Friday, Elisa. Hi, Elena. Good morning, Michelle and Becky. Hi, Bonnie. Lisa says it's a beautiful spring-like day here in the UK. Yeah, yesterday it was very warm. I'm joining you guys from northern Illinois, and it was mid-60s, low 60s at the end of February. Like, I'm not complaining at all. Good morning, Eric. They are schnoozy because early morning. They're like that most of the day. We have very chill dogs. Must be all the incense and healing music and stuff that I play. Kiana, hello. Good morning, Nicole and Janelle. Eric asks, when am I starting my moon class? So that, Eric is referring to the Patreon group called Embody Astrology Lunar Events. Our first meeting is going to be on March 21st. So I will definitely be keeping you guys in the loop about all of that. I hosted a webinar yesterday to show how to find a planet or point in your chart, because that's a skill that will help you get the most out of that group. So then at the end of that webinar, I gave more information about the group and how to join it. So you can find that on my YouTube channel. I just posted it yesterday. So yeah, March 21st is our first meeting. Good morning, Helen. Full moon bright in Northern California. Jody, happy day. Hello, Tyla, M, Leanne, Jen. Are those recorded? Yes, they will be recorded and posted onto my Patreon, so paid members will get to see all of those. Happy Friday, Christine. Everyone's still talking about your webinar. Good morning, Debbie. Hi, Mimi, Stacy, Lucy. Looking forward to this one. You're a Pisces. Awesome. Good morning, Carrie. As always, I'm just excited to talk about the lunar event that's happening. So let's hop into it. We're here to talk about tomorrow's full moon. So tomorrow, Saturday, February 24th at 6:30 a.m. Central Time. You can convert to your time zone, but we're having a full moon at 5 degrees of Virgo. So during a full moon, the moon and the sun are always opposite in the sky. So tomorrow, the moon will be at 5 degrees of Virgo, which places the sun at 5 degrees of Pisces. We also have Saturn and Mercury very close to the sun during this full moon. So the sun is at 5 of Pisces, Saturn is at 9, and Mercury is at 2. Full moons represent the closing of a cycle, putting an end to something. So whether that is saying goodbye to bad habits, or if that's closing a cycle of success, full moons can serve you in so many different ways. The full moon is really the moment that marks the ending. And then the waning moon phase for the next 2 weeks leading up to the new moon, that is what I feel is the time to shed what is no longer needed. So if you want to identify what needs to be shed for tomorrow, I don't resonate with those like full moon, okay, it's time to drop everything now, and then we forget about what we dropped. I think the full moon is the day to like close the book, and then the 2 weeks after that is the time to let all the stuff go. So I resonate more with the full moon being the party The full moon being the celebration, honoring the cycle that is ending. So tomorrow's full moon is at 5 degrees of Virgo. Virgo is a mutable earth sign. Mutable signs come at the end of a season, and they have the energy of reviewing and wrapping things up. Earth signs are linked to our practical reality, physical, tangible items, and earth signs are also related to our physical health, as well as what we value in this world. Virgo is represented by the maiden, the virgin, the purest sign of the zodiac. It holds an untainted energy. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury, who is hanging out with the sun in Pisces during this full moon. So this celebration to me feels more mental than physical. Mercury represents the mental plane. This feels like it's related to a belief system around what you thought you were responsible for within your tangible reality. And I bring in the responsibilities because Saturn is hanging out with Mercury and the sun. So I'm going to say that bit one more time. This celebration to me, this full moon in Virgo, feels like it's related to a belief system around what you thought you were responsible for within your physical, tangible reality. Bonnie. It's almost like this full moon is pulling us away from the Virgo energy because it's just the moon over there by herself at 5 degrees of Virgo. And in the opposite side of the chart, we have Mercury, the sun, Saturn pulling us towards Pisces energy. So what does this mean? Virgo is the sign of service. Pisces is the sign of surrender. So I really believe that this full moon is telling us that we can drop the weight, we can surrender our situation, whatever it is, we can surrender it to the universe. And I feel like there's been so much that you have been doing to serve either a particular person, to serve a community, to serve an organization, your workplace, your family. I'm sensing so much output, physical, tangible service, sensing so much output coming from you, coming from a place of love and concern, okay? So I'm not saying that you're like doing anything wrong, but I just feel this physical, tangible spending time, spending resources, spending just physicalness. And this full moon is showing that while your efforts have not gone unnoticed, there's only so much difference that we can all make in the physical realm. Virgo is earth. It's tangible, it's physical. The ending is occurring in Virgo. So while looking at the chart, I was seeing a big game of tug and war, and it's the moon in Virgo versus Mercury, the sun, and Saturn in Pisces, and I think we can tell who the winner would be. Pisces is the sign of surrender, detaching from what you believed the outcome had to be, detaching from the plan that you've created for yourself, or detaching from the plan that was given to you by someone else, by the system, by your family, by a good idea from someone else, just detaching from what you thought you had to do. Coming back to Mercury, Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, where this full moon is happening, and even he's in Pisces. I could feel Mercury looking at the moon across from the house, or across the chart, and it's almost like the moon is hanging out in Mercury's house right now because the moon is in Virgo. And so Mercury's looking across saying, that's not where the cool kids are right now. That's not the energy we're playing in right now. Like, hey, catch up, get the memo. It's time to be with Pisces energy. So I've also talked about in the past this Virgo-Pisces axis as Virgo service to others, Pisces service to spirit. And we know where attention goes, energy flows. And I'm getting a really strong sense that you have much more influence in the energetic realm in your situation. And it might be time to drop the belief that you have to put in the time, the energy, the long, grueling days, because the sky is literally pulling you away from that to connect to spirit and to ask for energetic support, to open yourself up to the magic, because overdoing and overthinking can block magic. Overextending your energy is a way of energetically saying no thank you to energetic support. So I'm very strongly feeling that it's time to surrender, time to drop your sword. I'm not feeling this on a defense. I wasn't going to say shield. It's time to drop the overdoing, the feeling like you have to control the physical. It's time to surrender and ask the universe for support and be open to receive. And I was going to end it there, and then one last thing came through, and it's tough to say, but I'm saying this with the utmost compassion because someone needs to hear it, and it might be all of us. I feel as if these big physical efforts are being done through martyr energy. I feel like you're overextending yourself to receive the approval or the admiration of others. And external validation does not lead you to self-love. This is a time to build trust and love within yourself, to drop the show, to drop trying to prove that you're doing enough, whether that's to someone else or to yourself, to drop trying to live up to someone else's expectations. And it's time to build the confidence within yourself that the way that you want to help is the right way. So this whole Virgo full moon chat came out a little bit heavier than I thought, but I can see this playing out in my life as well. And sometimes tough love is exactly what we need, especially when Saturn is involved here. So lastly, I want to point you to your own natal chart. You can look to see which house holds 5 degrees of Virgo, where the full moon is, which house holds 5 degrees of Virgo, and which house holds 5 degrees of Pisces. And you can see the game of tug and war in your own chart between the moon, 5 Virgo, and the sun, 5 Pisces. And maybe the universe is asking you to move away from the themes of the Virgo house and to embrace more of those themes of the Pisces house. So if this is making no sense to you about that last part, no worries. Again, I just hosted a webinar yesterday about how to find a planet or point in your natal chart. It's available on my YouTube channel. Just plug my name into YouTube and you can find me. And I think that it can be very helpful for a whole bunch of upcoming stuff. And actually, during the webinar, I used the full moon in Virgo as like a reference point for some of the stuff that I was doing, so it might be easy and timely if you watch it now. I've been glancing over at the chart and at the chat, and I could see that there's confirmation going on. You guys, I see a lot of people are feeling this. It's time to wave the white flag. I saw Christine said it was spot on. Good morning, Irina. Lisa, I've literally been talking about this with my therapist an hour ago. Heard it in the physical world, now hearing it in the spiritual world. All right, well, I can't wait to see what comes out through the cards. We're gonna pull from 2 different decks, and we're gonna ask 2 different questions. Jacqui, this is happening in house 1 and 7. So where's Pisces? What are you being asked to focus more on, yourself or your partnerships? Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. All right, guys, let's just jump into the cards. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling like I'm running on empty a little bit right now. I've had a lot going on, work stuff, family stuff, and I'm just like, thank God it's Friday today. Self through partnership, Bonnie. So because this is a Virgo event, and I like to use my native decks for Virgo energy, Virgo full moon, we are gonna ask the native spirit oracle. How did I phrase this? I really like the way I phrased this. Please send messages of support to surrender. So that's what I'm asking this deck. Please send messages of support to surrender. So I'm not specifically asking a question of this deck, but I'm asking that cards come out that help us feel supported when it comes to whatever we're meant to surrender right now. Does that make sense? Never seen this deck, Sarah. Cool. This happens all the time. When I first saw the deck, I swore it said nature spirit, and then I bought it and I was like, oh, that says native, not nature. And like people message me all the time and they're like, where's that nature spirit deck? Where'd you get it? It's native spirit. It's just interesting that so many people see nature in this. Please send messages of support to surrender. Feel free to send your energy into this deck. It's always a group reading. A rainbow. We were just asking for rainbows a couple times ago, whenever that was, looking for signs. Did anyone find their pink unicorn? The way that I do my readings all the time are group readings. I allow 3 cards to fall out of the deck for us, and then I invite you to use your own intuition. That's a great question, Eric. I'm not sure. The author is Denise Linn. I don't know if Denise Linn is Indigenous. But the author is Denise Linn. So after the 3 cards fall out of the deck for us, I'll show you the backs of the cards. So you are going to see the same image 3 times. You're going to see that native spirit card back 3 times. And then I ask you just to notice if anything changes when I hold up a certain card. There's no rules. It can literally be anything. It can be, you just know that that card holds a meaning for you. I like to keep an eye on my dogs. Like sometimes they'll move around and that clues me in. I don't even know why. I don't know. It all just makes sense. Just flow with it. It's Pisces season. Just flow with it. But like other things in your physical reality can change. If you sneeze, if you have an itch, or like your muscle twitches out of nowhere, that could be a sign. If you get that ringing in your ear, or other things, like if your house creaks, or if the doorbell rings, or your phone rings, or something. Like literally anything that changes. And then other people too, they notice, I don't have the concentration because I'm like doing 12 things, so I don't know if I do this. But when they look at the card backs, a lot of times people will say like, wow, the eagle really jumped out on that one, or wow, the rainbow was really speaking to me on card 3. So that's just however that relates in their brain. That's where symbolism can be super important, because when you start to make your own dictionary for life, when you see a rainbow and you don't regurgitate what the internet told you the rainbow means, when you actually have a connection to the rainbow, and then the rainbow is highlighted, and then the message can be related to what you think the rainbow is, and it's all that kind of stuff. It's all magic. April said Denise Linn is one of the first members and published under Hay House in Louise Hay, and she has an amazing workshop and more. Cool. Yeah, I have 1 or more of her decks. I know for sure I have 1. I think I have a couple. I don't know. Hi, Kirby. So it looks like you're moving away from 5th house personal creation. 11th house is more community-based, putting out for everybody. 5th house can also be children, and 11th house can be community. So have you been focusing a lot on your kids lately? Have you been trying to do so much? Yes, Rebecca, it is Linn. Eric, I'm sensitive to giving people credit for their work, especially the wisdoms of Indigenous peoples. Beautiful. I don't know how to figure out where I'm at in the chart, Gail. Check out that webinar. I just posted it on my YouTube channel yesterday. It's the most recent video, and it's called like How to Find a Planet or Point in Your Chart or something along those lines. Okay, I asked this deck to please send messages of support to surrender. So this is what our highest guides, our highest self, whoever you tapped into, this is what they believe we need to hear to feel the support in order to surrender. Surrender our overdoing. I'll show you the backs of the 3 cards. Let us know in the chat which ones are calling out to you. Here's the back of card number 1. Card number 2. And card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards might be resonating with you. And I'll show them one more time just in case. The back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. All right, let's see who's working with which cards. Karen 1, Sarah 3, Nicole 1 and 3, Jess 2, Michelle 2 and 3, Shanti 3, Stacy 1, Janelle 2 and 3, Bonnie 3, Aaron 2, Elisa 2 and 3, Kaya 2, Linda 3, Crystal 1 and 3, Gail 2, Mimi 2 and maybe 3. Sorry, my chat jumped. Andriana 2 and 3, Win 3, 1, April 1, 2, Stacy 3, Soraya 3. Chat is jumping. Lucy 1 and 3, Irina 2 and 3, Alyssa 1 and 3, Greg 2, Jennifer 1, but a bird outside on my feeder distracted me on card 2. Interesting. Jana, I saw that too. Pups, Darla moved her legs onto Michelle 2, Nina 3, Carol 1 and 3, April 3, Eric Daisy says 3, Jess 2 and 3, Carrie 2, Jen 1 and 3, Carrie 3, Kirby, I felt 2 at my throat. Cool. M2, Lisa 2, Rebecca 3, Hi Rose, all 3, Sarah 1, maybe 1, definitely 3, Teresa 3, Nancy 1, Cat started meowing, Greg 2 and 3, Christine all 3, Lucy 1 and 3, Shauna all 3, Lori all 3, Melinda 2 and 3, Tyla all 3, Ginger all but especially 3, Melissa all 3, Michelle my cat snuggled up on 1, Chantel 1, ear itch, 2 throat, good morning Trina 3, Jackie 1, can't choose 1, oh. Debbie 2, then 2, 3, Janet 1 and 3, Dara 1 and 3, Pam 1 and 3, Amy 3, Levi 2, Jennifer a lot of action on 2, yeah, really felt 3 at my heart, Jen, Diana 3. Oh, who said that they felt a lot of action at their heart? Really felt 3 at your heart? That's funny. So the question, well, it's not a question. We just said, please send messages of support to help us surrender. Card number 1 from the Native Spirit Oracle deck. Card number 1 is Warrior of the Heart. You have the radiant spirit of a warrior of the light. Be impeccable in all of your actions. No matter what others believe, the Creator always knows the truth. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Immense courage is filling you. Throw your shoulders back, step forward, and take a risk. Be willing to live life from your heart rather than your mind. Honor your truth. Speak up for yourself. The greatest native warriors weren't the ones who wounded the most people. They were those remarkable beings who had such personal power that enemies lay down their weapons rather than fight. There are times in life to step back and even times to walk away. but there are also times to stand up for yourself and those less advantaged. Don't allow yourself to be limited by your belief system. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means just that. Fear less. Acknowledge that you are frightened and take action anyway. Face your anxiety and go beyond the boundaries of limited perceptions of yourself. Through your example, people find and act on their truth. You are a light bearer for others. These cards come with a journey, and I'm feeling called to read them today. So the journey for this card: list everything that you are afraid of. Then next to that list, write every reason why it's important to overcome that fear. In other words, what does that fear cost you? Then make a list of the various ways that you can overcome that fear. I'm laughing because I'm doing that thing where I have like 100 things in my brain and I'm trying to think about where to start. And I just feel like what I'm going to say is literally repeating the card. Just lead from the heart. Do what your heart knows is right. It's time to get out of your mind. It's time to move away from that Virgo mental, physical. It's time to move into the heart and the flow, the heart and the surrender. Jen, my pendulum circled heavy on this one. It can be intimidating to pull away from somewhere where you believe that you're doing everything that you can be doing. But there's something in you that knows that like it should be another way, you want it to be another way. And it's okay to trust your heart. Welcome back, Carrie. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Greg's mind is blown. Jen loves this one. Kiana, indeed. April with a heart. See you, Nancy. Stacy, don't let your mind ruin the experience. I don't recall where I picked that up. It's not my quote, but I like that. Don't let your mind ruin the experience. I've been listening to a lot of talks from Ra Uruhu. He is the founder of the Human Design. And one of the biggest messages I'm getting from him is that we're like misusing our mind. Our mind isn't here to help us make decisions, right? Like, doesn't that sound super counterintuitive? Our mind isn't here to help us make decisions. Our inner authority is here to help us make decisions, and that's super deep into human design. But our mind is here to calculate and like analyze, like it's here to do a computer's job. And we use the mind so much to do what our heart should be doing. And I'm using heart as a general sense. We use our mind to lead our lives when it's our intuitive sense that's supposed to be leading our lives. And we give our mind like too much power. Diane is absolutely in tears. This could not be a more perfect card for me. Thanks for reading the journey. You're welcome, Diane. And I brushed over that. I mean, you know, like I just read it quickly. There's two ways that you can get that again. I record all these sessions and I put them on my YouTube channel, so you can always watch the replay. Just search my name on YouTube. And then also, my friend Bonnie helps with the group that I have on Insight Timer. So she takes the text updates of all the cards and she puts them into our spiritual community. It's the name of the group that I have on Insight Timer. So if you're more of a visual person, head to my Insight Timer teacher profile and you should be able to get into the group right there. Jen had a human design chart done a year ago and it was so spot on. Yes. Greg, heart, teach my mind. Love it. Caroline, cognitive dissonance, know in my heart, but often follow logic. Trina, I have huge smile as you talk about your inner authority manifesting generator here. Love it. Human design, Carrie? Yeah, it's like astrology plus the chakra system, plus the I Ching, plus the Kabbalah. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm like 3 years in and I still feel like I haven't even gotten a basic understanding of it yet. I'm just kidding. It's great. Check it out. Taurus overthinking, imagine that. So what the universe sent us as a message of support to surrender is just to follow your heart. Okay, let's see what else comes out from this deck. Card number 2, gathering your tribe. You are loved and you are lovable. You deserve love. Support in all forms is flowing to you. Should we just end it there? We asked for support, and the card reading says, support in all forms is flowing to you. You can relax. There is so much love around you. Communicate from your heart. Literally says that in the book. Communicate from your heart. Share your truth. You are safe. Diminish your time with those who do not empower you or believe in you. If the Gathering Your Tribe card finds you, this means that sustenance in all forms is flowing into your life. Your people are those who resonate with you. Your people can include animals, plants, minerals, and trees, as well as people. Be willing to ask for what you want in life. This is the time to put your needs before the needs of others. Your tribe is waiting to support and nurture you as you nurture yourself. Sometimes your friends are more your family than blood relatives. Find your people and cherish them. Your vibe attracts your tribe. The journey for this card: spend time with friends and family members who see the best in you. Don't spend time with dream stompers. Take classes, share meals, take time to find your people. You will live longer and be happier. Wow. Wow. What I'm getting from this card is that there are people in your life that you are keeping around for their benefit. And there's not much that it's really not serving you. It's really just serving your sense of obligation. And this card is validating that it's okay to spend time with people that boost you up. It's okay to spend time with people that make you feel good. People that will understand when you need to take care of you. Because if you've been surrounded by people who tell you that you need to take care of them first, that can become your programming. You just feel like, okay, I have to come last. It's everyone else before me. I have to make sure everyone else is okay, then I can be okay. And if you're programmed that way, it can be very difficult to allow yourself to take a break because you feel like you're going to lose everyone because you're not doing and giving. Believe me, as much as I'm saying this out to you guys, I'm saying it right to myself. It's okay to choose to be with people who make you feel good. Right? What a strange concept. Thank you, Carrie. Kirby. Thank you, Kirby. I appreciate your donation. Michelle picked this because of tears. Greg with the mic drop. Christine, I get this card a lot. All things nature. Shauna, I feel this and I just dropped in. Karen loves this card. Carrie, that's the truth. Shauna, find your people. Don't spend time with dream stompers. And what we talked about earlier with this Virgo full moon is that sense of duty and obligation to prove yourself. To be the martyr, to prove that you're doing enough. Maybe because people in your life have been telling you that you're not doing enough, and that's not your problem, that's on them. Amanda May just moved in with partner's father to help him with coping after loss of his wife, and it's been a very trying situation. Extremely. Extremely. There's so much that we can do in the energetic realm. I think we forget that sometimes. I'm going to tell a story about a client, and I'm not going to say who this person is, and if they want to say it in the chat, they can. But I have this client who feels like they're supposed to be doing so much for humanity. They're supposed to be giving. They're supposed to be volunteering. They're supposed to be doing all this physical stuff. And we had our session the other day, and then they were telling me that they do a metta meditation every single morning, and they send healing energy to specific people. Not just like general, like, okay, and I'll send love to the world. No, this person sits there and envisions a person and sends energy and then sees them, and then they go along their way. And I was like, do you not realize how much you're doing for the world by doing that? Do you not see the correlation? And it's just so interesting that we have been so conditioned to think this is the way that you have to serve. This is the way that you're supposed to be doing your life. And then you're in the background doing what the heart tells you to do. You're in the background doing what feels good to you. And you're like, but that's not enough. I have to be doing more. I'm supposed to be doing more. It's just so interesting. I don't remember why I started telling that story, but because we can do so much in the energetic realm. It's Christine. Yes, I didn't want to call you out if you didn't want to be called out. It's Christine. So Christine is an Aquarius, and she's like, Jacqui, I do not vibe with this Aquarius thing because I don't want to volunteer anymore. I don't want to do it. You know, she's done it for her whole life. She's raised kids. She's done the career. She's done the PTA stuff. She's done the whatever, a whole bunch of stuff. She's listed off like a million things. And then this metta meditation that she takes the time every morning to do, I'm like, Christine, that's the last thing that I put time for in my life. Like I am running around doing all those things, trying to serve all these people, and I'm exhausted. I want to be able to sit down and just meditate and feel like, okay, I'm doing my job. But I still got to get over my belief that I have to be helping everyone all the time. So I wonder. Yes, the ripples. Thank you, Eric. It's the ripples, right? So Christine knows when she sends that energy to the person, she knows it impacts them, which is wonderful. And then it's that ripple effect, because if you're impacting one person, then their vibration has to impact the people around them, and then their vibration has to impact the people around them. It's so big. So last message of support to help us come to a place of surrender. Spirit Keeper of the South is card number 3. And she's gone. Abundance and prosperity in all forms. Expansion, surging energy, activity, movement, rapid growth. Be open to receiving the bounty of the universe. This is a great time for medical procedures. Your energy will be at a maximum. In the medicine wheel, the south is the direction that symbolizes the warmth of the noonday sun, summertime, the full moon, and a time of rapid growth. Crops grow with vigor during the summer months. In the human cycle, it also represents the vitality of childhood. This is your time to shine. It's also a time of great bounty in all areas of your life. Open your arms to receive gifts from the universe. If you live in the southern hemisphere and draw this card, you should read the Spirit Keeper of the North instead. So if you're one of my Australian friends, forget everything I just said. The journey for this card: stand facing south during the midday. Close your eyes and feel the warmth of the sun opening your heart center. There's that heart. Absorb the sunlight as you sense yourself absorbing the abundance of the universe. You have to let go of what isn't serving you in order to have space to receive what's trying to come to you. And let me just take a second to talk about buzzwords in the spiritual community, right? We say it all the time. I'm ready to release everything that's no longer serving me. Have you thought about what that means? What does that actually mean? First off, I don't use the word release, because break that word apart. What does it mean to lease something? It means to call it into yourself. So you want to keep redoing that? No. I don't say release anymore. That's just me. I say surrender. So it's time to surrender everything that isn't serving me. What does it mean to be serving me? Everything in this universe is either it's serving you or you are serving it. So if there's a part where it's all 100% output and you feel like you're just giving to a brick wall and this wall isn't receiving what you're trying to give, it's like a porcupine, right? Like it cries about needing help and then it puts up the shields and there it is. That's not serving you. How is it serving you? So it's okay to surrender that. It's okay to put it into the hands of the universe and allow the spirit keeper of the South to come and bless the whole thing. Embrace the sunlight. This card even speaks about the full moon. It's time to drop it. It's time to let it go. Eric feels the abundance coming to what I love. Darla's backing me up. Awesome. Alyssa, at first I was bummed I didn't pick this card. Then I realized it was confirmation that I did the right thing, ridding my life of the wrong people. So it's not to say that like all of our difficulties are for nothing. It's just a burden. That's poppycock. Our burdens give us lessons. Our burdens teach us lessons, how to grow ourselves, how to refine our skills, how to utilize our emotions instead of react from them. It's a whole process, but it comes to a point where you realize that you're not really getting anything from this anymore. It's just been constant. I just keep giving and there's no backward back to me. Of course I'm from the South and picked this. Amanda May just moved back to the South. I love that. April, oh, surrender. In Latin means to service or give away. And render means to remake in a new way. Sir. Latin means service or give away. Sir. Render. Give away to remake in a new way. Love that. Love that. It's the compost. You're giving your compost to the universe so the universe can turn it into fertile soil for the next person. Don't feel guilty about your baggage that you are letting go. You don't need to be ashamed that you're letting this energy go into the universe. Like it has a purpose and it might be done with you and it's time for the next person. Helen is asking if the feed stopped for anyone else. Debbie says giving too much. They just want more, even though it's causing me a lot of pain. Where's the balance? What is your heart telling you to do? Does it feel like that person is part of your tribe? Does it feel like that person has your best interest in mind? The spirit keeper of the South wants to come bring blessings and abundance for you, but if there's no space, there's only so much that the universe can do. That's what I mean when I say that we co-create our reality with the universe. We have to make the space so that the universe can bring it in. We have to hold out our hands so that the universe can put something in there. And if your hands are spent clinging on to the situations that you put yourself in, where is the universe going to put what's meant for you? You only have so many orifices in your body, and I don't know if you want the universe entering. Thank you, Susan, for your donation. Dora missed the beginning and wondering what we were asked to look for in our birth chart. The full moon is at 5 degrees of Virgo. And then if you want the full explanation, this replay is going to be on YouTube later today. So I'm going to pull one more card from one more deck. And I was kind of assuming that with whatever we feel like it's time to let go of, whatever obligation, duty, whatever, there's probably some fears around that. So before I pull this card, I want you to sit with that. And this is going to benefit you a lot more if you can identify your biggest fear in this surrender situation. So what type of physical, tangible service is ready to be surrendered to the universe? First thing that comes to mind, right? Don't let your mind sabotage this. The first thing that comes to mind, that's the situation. Man, I don't want to let go of that because this reason and this reason and this reason. Okay, what's your biggest fear? If you let this part of service go, what do you feel like you're going to miss out on? What do you feel like is going to happen? What are you afraid of? You can put it in the chat if you want. I just want you guys to know this for yourself because that's going to help you get more out of this last card. But that makes so much sense. Courtney says fear of rejection and abandonment. Jen, connection. Not being able to be true to myself. Fear of others not thinking I'm good enough. Oh, fear of failure. So Jacqui, she asked, can you repeat that, please? The messaging from this full moon is to drop the service. To drop overextending yourself in the physical realm. To lean into Pisces, surrender. To lean into allowing the universe to take it off of your hands, to have a bigger impact on the situation. So when you think about whatever comes to mind, whatever the first thing comes to mind, I'm busy overthinking, Jacqui, I know. Whatever situation comes to mind, for some reason, Jacqui, your mom keeps coming up, and I don't know if that's me putting words in your mind. If you were to drop some of that service, some of that physical, I'm here for you, my physical body is right here, meeting your needs all the time. If you were to drop that, what are you afraid of? Like what fear is holding you to that service? Definition of service in this case, Rebecca. I'm being very choosy with my words because I'm not trying to say that like you shouldn't do nice things for other people. It came through very clearly in the flow when I started this session, so maybe rewatching this and coming back to it will get you in there. Virgo is an earth sign. It's the sign of service. So I'm feeling this is some type of overextending of your physical energy that you're giving to something in the physical, tangible world. And what does that mean? That means the reality that you see with your eyes. There's something that I feel like we're all giving too much of ourselves for. And I feel like this is coming from a place of martyrdom. Honestly, and I'm not saying that to be, I don't know, rude or anything, but like I'm seeing it in myself, you know, sometimes you give and give and give and you do and you do and you do because you're waiting for someone to say, hey, you did a really good job. Wow, you're so much kinder than that person. Wow, I can't believe that you're giving all of this to this person. And like we're waiting for that external validation, hoping that that's going to bring us to self-love, but that's bullshit. It never happens that way. That's the mind telling you you need other people to tell you that you're good enough. This full moon is pulling us towards Pisces energy. There's Mercury, Sun, Saturn all together in Pisces. They're coming up for a conjunction on Wednesday. Mercury, Saturn, and Sun all together in Pisces. They're pulling us away from that Virgo full moon. It's okay, we can drop the physical service. What is it time to do? It's time to surrender. It's time to go with the flow. It's time to ask for energetic support and realize that by pulling back and asking for energetic support, that's not letting the other person, the community, the work group, it's not letting them flounder. You're saying, I realize that I have limits as a 3D, third dimensional human being. I'm realizing that I, myself, can't fix this whole thing. So I'm going to call in some energetic support and I'm going to open up and wait to see the blessings that come. Maybe that means a check shows up in the mail. Maybe that means another person in your life suddenly loses their job so they're able to step in and help. You know, there's so many possibilities. You can't even fathom what the possibilities are because it's energetic support. There's so much available. But if we're clinging to, it has to be this way, you're blocking so much that can be. So by having the courage to let go of what's not working anymore, I've been trying and trying and trying to fix this person, to help this person, to do this thing to me. You can just, whatever's coming to mind, you feel like you've just been hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and you're exhausted. This is when it's time to say, okay, I'm open to help. I can't do this anymore. So when you think about making that detachment, what fear comes up? I'm afraid if I stop giving so much to this person, they're gonna leave me. I'm afraid that if I stop showing up for my family, they're gonna talk about me behind my back. You know, what's coming up? And we're gonna ask the Healing Waters Oracle, what do you have to say about my biggest fear? What do you have to say about my biggest fear? So that's why I wanted you guys to have your biggest fear. Because if you don't have one, then this card might not mean as much. Martyrdom, a display of feigned or exaggerated suffering to obtain sympathy or admiration. Yes. Yes. I feel like I'm packing a pack of cigarettes. Wow, that's been a decade. The fact that people here have shared their fears has already made me feel like I found my tribe. We all have fears that we keep deep down. Well done, everyone, for sharing. Thank you for saying that. I'm not going to read the fears out loud. They live here on Insight Timer. If you're watching the YouTube replay, it's okay. That's just not, this is meant for Insight Timer. This is a great tribe. I love it too. I'm deeply feeling called to let the divine support me and not rely solely on myself or others. Okay, what do you have to say about my biggest fear? Feel free to send your energy into this deck. This is going to be one card that speaks to all of us. I'm gonna, should I tell you my fear now or should I tell you afterwards? My fear is being seen as selfish. That's what my biggest fear is. If you've been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. If you haven't yet followed me on Insight Timer, please consider doing so you can see when I post my new classes. I come on here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, not all the time, depending on what the astrology is doing. When there's stuff happening in the sky, those are my days. And I'm always here on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:15 Central Time in the morning. Obviously, it's morning right now. What else? That's it. That's all I'm going to say today because I just want to get to this card because I'm excited. So what do you have to say about my biggest fear? Thank you so much, Teresa and Melissa. I appreciate your donations. What do you have to say about my biggest fear? The card that we got is the Wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care. Take a breath. We don't only need water to thrive, we need it to survive. The Wellspring card often appears when things are unbalanced or when we've been pushing ourselves beyond our limits in ways that are simply unsustainable. Oh my gosh. Just like the seasons around us, we too are cyclical, and thus we must pay attention to where we're expecting ourselves to be in full bloom year-round. While we can rely on our reserves for a limited amount of time, if we allow ourselves to become depleted over a long period, to run on empty, it'll likely take longer to recover than it ever did before. We must embrace our humanity and take care of the body by slowing down, quenching our thirst, and finding ways to recover and deeply rest. The Wellspring card is an invitation to look at where you've been going into overdrive, to reflect on the areas where you've been pushing yourself beyond your physical limits, to consider whether you've been forcing yourself to run on your reserves. It delivers a message to reassess the speed and force you're using, to bring more harmony and balance back into your life, to trust your inner seasons, to look after yourself and appreciate your precious body. This card comes with 3 questions in the soul inquiry part. Where are you pushing yourself beyond your limits? How are you being called to care more for your body? What are you really, really thirsty for? This card just called us out. This card said exactly what I was talking about. And I realized as I was reading this card that like this stuff happens all the time, and I feel like I kind of take it for granted because this is just how my life is nowadays. But like, this is the perfect card for everything that we're talking about. It's almost like I predetermined all this, but I promise you guys I didn't. And I hope you see that. Like, this is blowing my mind. We've been overgiving. We've been overextending ourselves. The reason why right now might not matter. You know, once you start nourishing yourself, that'll drop away. Serendipity, Carrie, of course. It's time to honor the cycles of nature that live within us as much as they live around us. What a beautiful time in Pisces season to be told it's time to let go of some of your responsibilities, and it's time to come back and honor your humanness. We are humans. We are not robots. Technology is advancing all around us and everything around us is speeding up, but that doesn't mean that we have to speed up. We get to use that stuff as a tool, but we don't have to match it with our energy. What do you need? Janelle has a massage book today. Love it. Love it, love it. Pinkin, thank you for your donation. Nice to see you. This is the Healing Waters Oracle, if anyone needed it. Rebecca needed to hear this right now. April, running on empty and caring for body. Huge resonance. You can't make this poop up. Self-care. Greg says a bell rang on overdrive. Eddie, wow, just came in and this is perfect. Eddie, you better go watch this whole recording because the whole thing had to do with this and this just brought it all together. You could do whatever you want. I'm just suggesting. Shauna, wow, scary. This is me off work. Greg, thirsty for deep connection, self, spirit, and others. Sarah, so powerful, so good, so resonant. Levi, can our overextending be in the mind rather than the physical? Yeah. I believe that. And it could be the thought of the physical. I'm just focusing on the physical because it's Virgo, but Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So it's like thinking about what needs to happen in the physical. So yes. Jen, turning the internal lights off and getting more restorative sleep. Love it. Bonnie loves the tech message. Makes me think of Ayurveda, living in the seasons. Courtney is thirsty for connection. Yana, great session. Thank you. Mandy, interesting. I'm packing to leave on a weekend trip down south to spend time in the sun. All this has spoken to my soul. That's amazing, Mandy. I hope you find your tribe. I hope you're with your tribe down there in the south. Oh, I'm so glad I joined today. Great messages that resonate with my current situations. April, so I will share a card I pulled from my Power of Surrender Oracle that may resonate. Surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Love that. Hi, Christine. Thank you. Massage in order today. Alicia, beautiful sharing as it is words. Beautiful sharing as it connected with my current state and how much I need rest and connection with high vibrations. Michelle, much to think about and process today. Thank you. Need to sign off. Nice to see you. Diana's got to get to work. Melissa just realized she's planning on traveling south as well. That's awesome. Levi, thank you for your donation. Thank you, Mandy. What do I have to say to you guys today? There was something that I wanted to leave you with. Oh, the last few YouTube videos, don't know what's going on. The video was corrupted. The audio's there, so I just put a picture of a wolf there instead because I like the wolf stuff. So I'm trying to record on a different thing today, so hopefully that'll work out, because I know it's super annoying when you can't see the whole thing. What else? I will be back here on Insight Timer next week, Wednesday and Friday. So the next time we get together, we're going to talk about how the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn are all coming together at 9 degrees of Pisces. Boom, boom, boom. We're action-packed. If you want to prep for that session, you can find 9 degrees of Pisces in your chart. If you're not sure how to do that, you can check out the webinar that I just posted to my YouTube channel yesterday about how to find a degree point in your chart. So it's there now. And then on Friday, we'll talk a little bit about Venus squaring Uranus. And wow, next Friday is March 1st. We're a week away from March. What is happening? Crazy, crazy. Ruth Ann, the messages today were timely and spot on. Thank you, Jackie, and this group. Appreciate all of you in this tribe. Likewise. Thank you guys so much for being here. Messages of support. Follow your heart. Surround yourself with people, places, and things that fill you up, and allow the universe to throw blessings and abundance on you. And if you need a physical reminder, go stand in that sunlight, south-facing, middle of the day. And if you feel that fear creeping up, you don't want to let go of all these things that you're doing for all these people, remind yourself that you're a gosh darn human. You're not a robot. It's okay to slow down and take care of yourself, because by slowing down to take care of yourself, you'll have more to give with ease on the other side. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Sending love to all. Namaste. Take care. Until then. I hope that video was just as insightful for you as it was for all of us. Darla and I really appreciate you being here with me. Thank you for liking this video, sharing it with a friend who you think would benefit, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, drop a comment and let us know what you got from this video. What was your biggest insight or takeaway? If you want to see what else I'm working on, click on my link tree. It's right underneath this YouTube video. We'll see you next time. Take care.